No, I don't think so. I think we're good on that. That part usually works pretty well. Okay, so
Okay.
we're back. So yeah, I guess so. My main point was that well, order now is really aggressive. It's what you want them to do, but it's kind of like, okay, here's the sales funnel.
Yeah,
I want to squeeze the bottom of it and see if dollar signs come out.
I've thought about changing that to pricing
Yeah,
and seeing if just instead of saying order now, it said pricing, but I didn't know if that would be better or worse. I
I
mean,
think it's better because it's a soft sell. It's kind of just starting them down the slippery slope. So you can have that be the very last button and have that always be highlighted and or the last nav item and call it pricing. Okay.
so
Um,
would you say not to have two buttons, but to have
yeah.
pricing instead of order now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then because
I thought
you have
about
the call
doing
to
that.
action, it's non-threatening. Okay, I'll go see what the pricing is. Okay, now you have the
Okay.
buy now or check out. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Um, all right, so that's basically how I would reorder the navigation bar. Any thoughts or questions about information architecture or the order of those?
No, as long as the recording's saved, then you had the order of the buttons,
Hmm.
which I think makes sense. When I look at analytics, the pages that get viewed the most are definitely how it works and ingredients.
Sure, because they're the first
Um,
on the list. I mean, that's
yeah, and then testimonials.
because that's
Is
next on the
third,
list.
so it goes right in order.
Yeah.
So yeah, we
That's
could
why
definitely
pricing, I mean, it's okay for it to be last because you have the right sequence here uh, of going across, and this is basically a sideways sales funnel, right?
right.
You have the early stage to the late stage and culminating with order now or pricing. That's fine, but it's just not clear and it's lost here. And there's nothing wrong with on the home page also, we'll talk about the homepage content next, having pricing to clarify that,
Okay.
starting from whatever amount. Okay.
On the button that will be now called pricing, how would you highlight it? You said you want it to stand out, you want it to show up
Well,
more.
the point is it shouldn't
What do
look
you?
like all the other items on the
Okay.
nav bar. I mean, it should be a little more prominent, maybe at the little taller tab, a different font color. That's the place to kind of make it stand out a bit.
Okay.
Okay. But the point is it's always there. And independently of that, you should probably have the see pricing as a little call to action on within the content of pretty much every page. So I guess my final comment on the navigation is you can't expect people to use navigation at all. I know that sounds
Okay.
weird, but what's got to carry the water and do the work is the content of your pages. Navigation is a backup. If I can't figure out what to do based on your content, then I'm forced to fall back on navigation. But nobody wants to
Right.
use navigation or read that nav bar, right?
Okay.
So you have to really do the job from the the content, which we'll talk about next. Okay?
Okay. Is your GoToMeeting still working? It just said you left.
Yeah, that's weird because I can hear you guys, and can you still see my screen?
Yep.
I see it.
Yeah, can you see me writing on it? I just circled the bottles.
Yeah. I don't know why it said that then.
Yeah, it's we have to figure out what's going on. We've had some issues with it the last couple of days. I apologize. It's still recording, or at least it's saying it's still recording, so I think we're good. Still showing me on it. All right. So if it kicks me off again, I'll just dial back in. So let's talk about the content of the site. I'd say there's I like the way you've arranged your main nav. It's pretty logical. Like I said, it takes me down the engagement funnel, because I start out in a state of I don't really care to maybe I care a little more, and okay, now I'm ready to buy it. Um, there's but the content of the homepage should largely mimic that. Instead, what you have is read this by Doug F. from Utah. Okay, wait, do this arrow thing going to the gray thing. Wait, read all this. And oh wait, within that, this is the important stuff. I mean, do you see how the experience of your page
Right.
is just read, 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 and guess what? Nobody reads on the web. So that's a problem. By the way, we ran your page through our Attention Wizard software, which just predicts based on a screenshot or an image that you upload where kind of the initial visual attention will be on the page. And so here's what your page looks like. There's no big surprises. The hot spots are kind of where we predict attention is going. So, okay, it's going to the bottles, but it's basically all over the place. There is no attention, and the eye path, which are these yellow lines, are just like going crazy. There's no visual focus or ordering to the page, and that chat window is just way too prominent. As another side, your arrow is getting attention, but it's kind of based on the messaging and the fact that no one's reading any context for it is just kind of a waste of space. So, and then again, you're emphasizing a lot of your text, and that's getting attention down here as well. But yeah, there's no real visual focus to the page. And then other things like this hotspot are just based on the fact that this is in a corner with an extreme contrast around it. You know, this page edge and the darkness over here. So that's some kind of issues with your design, and the same goes with this area here.
Do you have a suggestion for the background, or is that something you'll do in the Express Fix in terms of alternate background options?
We will. I mean, the general point is make it dull, absolutely even color, whatever, and make it lighter. It doesn't have to be as contrasty, so then you won't get those edge effects. I mean, there's nothing profound here because you don't really have a particularly graphic-rich site. Your bottles are getting seen. I think the long term, I don't know if you need the chat. Unless you're willing to staff it on an ongoing basis.
I don't really plan to have it long term. I was just trying to find out what are people asking over and over that we aren't answering. And it's only been a month and a half, and we're really starting to see basically the same questions over and over.
Yep, and as much as it helps you fill out the holes in your web design, yeah, I mean, it's clear that the call to action isn't clear, and that there is no call to action on this page. That was really kind of one of my main points by showing you that heat map. It doesn't say see pricing with a big fat button and arrow or whatever.
Sure.
Okay? So it's basically read a bunch of text, which no one's going to do.
Yeah, it's surprising because I always think that as well. And I mean, people don't read, but what's surprising to me, because I've been manning the chat and I can see people going through the pages, it's shocking to me how long people are spending on the site on each page before they buy, which kind of definitely goes against everything I've learned. But it's how long they spend there.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that. I mean, look, if you're in pain and you're gonna put something on your butt, you know, you probably should do a little research. Otherwise, you're gonna end up on one of those like Jackass shows or something, right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
sure.
No, I'm not surprised by the fact that they're doing their homework, but well, so let's talk about your content. I mean, to me, I have a big problem with this page because it's text heavy, but also because it's missing one huge key, which is what's this page about? It's got to have a headline. And get rid of your hemorrhoids, naturally might be a real good starting point. But I got to tell you, by putting it in that upper right-hand corner, you're basically making it invisible. Okay, because this is the main diagonal of a page from upper left to lower right. Anything up here or down here is considered kind of secondary. And so, you know, you can't put your main messaging in your header.
Okay.
That's not, you know, the tagline should be there, which should say the natural hemorrhoid treatment or something. But then your headline, you still need a headline and a purpose for every page. And it should be kind of on your home page. It's similar to your tagline because that's what the site's about, right? So get rid of your hemorrhoids naturally. Okay?
Okay.
That's really important. Or you go into more of a direct response, long-form sales letter mode and hook them with, you know, you have to hook into a need. You know, is your butt sore and itchy? That'd be quite a headline, wouldn't it?
That would be funny.
Well, you think I'm joking, but I'm not. Okay,
No,
I
it
need
would
to
be
read
efficient.
on. I need to read on now. Okay, how do you get away from a headline question like that? If I say yes and I raise my hand, then I have to keep reading. I can't just stop there, right? So seriously, if you might want to consider something like that. But you basically have to identify with a need. And here people have a, pardon me, painful burning need to do something about their current situation. So you should definitely key in on that. In other words, one well-known maxim of marketing is that, and copywriting, is that people are moved by one of two motivations, fear and greed. Okay, and if they're not moved off of their comfortable spot, you're not going to sell them anything. They're okay with the way things are. So you really have to work on the pain and amplifying that. Okay, or try. You don't have to live with the pain in the ass. Okay. Again, this is just my own off the cuff copywriting thoughts, but do with it what you will. But follow that up with one or get rid of the pain in your butt naturally, okay, and then you can go with the positioning of your product. So underneath your headline, you would have 100% natural, 100% money back guarantee, whatever other things you want to talk about it. Complete list of ingredients, see details of so they can go and see that and get reassured that there's nothing really scary and no dichloride dioxyl 3 in it or whatever, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so hook into the pain and expand on that value proposition, and then have a nice big hero shot. Those bottles should be, or one bottle, or if you're trying to sell 3 and queue them up for that on the next page, it should be about that big. So here's your headline, maybe some bullet points off to the side here, and then a nice big picture. Okay, and then you might have trust down below here. Not SEO text, but trust. I mean, you can still have the SEO text on the page. Obviously, you guys know how to do that, but it doesn't have to be in the visible portion. And what can you tell me? How many people have visited your site since the dawn of time?
How many people have visited the site?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Right.
Just guess.
We're getting.
How many people have bought from you?
2,000.
Okay, over 2,000 satisfied clients. See testimonials. Can you get a few testimonials? Yeah, because you have a testimonial page. But that should be part of the selling proposition. That should be part of the trust. Has anybody covered, I mean, it's a cute name and all, right? Has anybody kind of covered your website? Has anybody featured it? Has anybody talked about it or blogged about it? Not yet? Okay.
No.
Help to get some third-party
impressive like that.
third-party credibility, even from blogs, would be very helpful, I think.
Okay.
By the way, I just clicked on your testimonials page and nothing's coming up. Let me try that again. What you want to do, and we've done this kind of on our redesign. That's weird. My browser window seems to have.
Yeah, it's working fine for me. My side.
Yeah, I think it's again some. Hold on. Oh, I think I know what it was. Okay, so here we are in testimonials. So you have one testimonial, then you have a bunch at the bottom. So this stuff at the bottom should be, when they click on it, should be on the testimonials page. Now, take a look at how we're doing it. We're actually putting a right trust column on the page, and again, you can put it to the right, or you can span it across the bottom right there. It's got to be above the fold. And you say over 2,000 satisfied customers, and then you see testimonials as a link, and then you pop up in the lightbox popover the, well, here, actually we do this on Attention Wizard so you can see how we do it. You know, a dedicated right trust column, and then over 14,000 happy users. See testimonials. You click on that, you get a Lightbox popover, and it can have essentially the contents of your testimonial page. You know, with people, you can, except you can have your little, you know, headshots on there as well. Okay.
So should we create a pop-up like that?
Yeah, in addition to the page. And don't send them off this page. But on the home page, if you're going to have trust, like we do here, then don't take them off the page. Keep it the same content on the Lightbox.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. One other thing is that let's talk about the the pricing issue, because you have to say from 38.85. I mean, yeah, I don't know how many days I'm going to need this, but I can get a bottle for $38.95, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to put that on the home page. I also think it's kind of you're talking about some of the right things here on the order page, like the discrete packaging. I'm sure that's important, right?
Yeah, these little things I've listed have all come from questions.
Yeah, but again, you're requiring reading, and then I probably represent that stuff visually on the pricing page. But then the other thing that I think it's kind of cheesy to charge me another $10. I don't think 38 solves my problem, but here I'm getting gouged because $9.95 is even more than an infomercial would charge to send me stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're creeping up to $5, $6, $7, $8, $9. $9.95 to ship a bottle? Give me a break. So
it costs $9.
Why?
It does cost because it's drop shipped, and that's what the cost is. But yeah, I get what you're saying. We actually offered free shipping for probably a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then we tested charging for shipping, and we found that we actually were far more profitable than when we charged for it. But I mean, I'm open to testing free shipping.
Well, what I'm saying is just don't. Yeah, it's free shipping. I mean, but don't. I'm not saying do it for free. I'm saying add that into your price. Add your
you're saying not emphasize it?
Yeah. No, that's just kind of like we're going to charge you extra for it. I mean, like I'd rather pay $49 for the bottle than to know you're going to charge me another $9.95 for shipping. Just psychologically.
Okay. So you're saying do free shipping but raise the price
if you need to. Yeah, but also I don't know where you're dropping shipping from or why it's $9.95, but that seems like
yeah, it's USPS and it's flat rate box. It's $8.91 with my drop ship fee. So I'm not trying to make money on shipping. It's just covering the cost.
But why flat rate box? I mean, can't you just you can do it by weight in small boxes, and it's just a few ounces. What am I missing here?
I don't know what to tell you. When we were with UPS, it was even more expensive than that. I mean, that's just how much the shipping is. Shipping rates have gone up tremendously.
Have they? Okay, maybe I haven't been keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's gone up just since we've run the site. But anyway, that's neither here or there. I get what you're saying.
Yep. Also, you need the 15-day supply, 30-day supply, and 45-day supply. Okay, you got me here, because I don't think you should offer 3 choices. Number one, I think you should offer 2. If you just offer 1 choice, then people's real choices go away or buy the 1 choice. If you're offering 2, now it's not the go away option goes away, and I'm deciding which of them I want. But offering 3, I don't really see. I mean, other than trying to get your average order value up, so if you insist on having 3, I'd put this one first because higher price is more. You need to calibrate with the most expensive first, and then go down.
Okay.
If you also have 3 and you want, say, most popular, or the one you really want them to buy should be the middle one, and you bracket it. That's the one most people will end up buying. But you need
the majority of people buy the 30-day supply, especially because our messaging all over the site is it's a 30-day guarantee.
Right, and you offer the money-back guarantee only on the 30-day supply or longer, right?
Right.
I'm going to reset that here.
The only reason we have a 1-day, and certainly not trying to defend it, but just so you understand, is so that people that have a flare-up down the road can just buy 1 bottle. they may not need 2 or 3 bottles. So we don't get a lot of 1-bottle orders, and I'm open to taking that off.
Mm-hmm. And you probably should. The other, but I mean, if you're tying it to the days, I'm a little confused because you have to, really, it should be like whatever, toe fungus treatment. You take it for 30 days and then your toe fungus goes away or whatever, right? There should be some kind of recommended length of time. And how do I know if I need 30 days or 45 days? What if my ass itches on the 31st day? I don't want to run out, but you're not helping me here. So it's a kind of a meaningless distinction. I have no way to know ahead of time which I'm going to need. So just, help me say, it's like if you here's, normal supply, and extra for occasional flare-ups.
Right.
That,
Okay.
you have to position it for me and tell me the purpose of the 2 different product lines. I mean, I know you can ship 1, 2, or 3 bottles. That's beside the point. But, for me as the consumer, what's motivating me to get one versus the other? You have to give me a reason to buy. Okay?
Okay.
And then the buy buttons are, there's a lot of mechanical problems here. The buy buttons aren't inside of the action block. You're repeating the payment information and decorating all that at the bottom. That should be just one time on the page. In fact, it should be in your page shell, so I know your acceptable buying methods, which should be up here in your header somewhere. So I know that I'm going to pay for stuff. And then this should say secure checkout, international shipping available. That doesn't really tell me that's international shipping. That looks like a bunch of gold bars around the globe from the size of it. And PayPal should be, you should list that again as 1, 2, 3, 4 or PayPal. Okay. Because that's just a different checkout path. But that's something, like go
Everyone's
later
using
in the
PayPal
cart.
in this case.
Yep. So
Yeah.
you want to put that out front. I need to know that I'm going to pay for something on this site and the payment methods you have. So you should have this little thing right here with the 4 and PayPal up here on the right.
Okay.
Okay. So that's I know we're flying through here and we're run up on our time. So I just wanted to see if you had any kind of closing thoughts or comments on what we talked about.
That was a lot. I don't.
Yeah.
Bryn, do you have anything?
I guess the only thing I'm unclear of is more specifically what we can do to change the logo. We're fine to change it however you think, but I guess I didn't feel like I had clear direction on what to do other than making it more of a box shape and adding a tagline. It sounded like you didn't like the guy with the red bomb.
Well, I mean, again, it's an aesthetic thing. It's you want, like Hemorrhoid Harry perhaps as a superhero. If you're going to keep him as a cartoon character with the cape, it's like, getting rid of that, and the Hemorrhoid Harry might be a separate little guy, right? He might be Hemorrhoid Harry, getting rid of that pain in the butt, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and you can play with him, and he can decorate parts of the site, or you can draw your visual attention to your call to action and stuff like that, use him as a little cartoon avatar. But the logo perhaps should have some kind of square thing, your URL, and then the tagline below it in that orientation, and be a bit more professional. And then,
Okay, so you wouldn't put him in the logo at all then?
Yeah, not necessarily. I might have him sticking up out here, with his cape on and saying, I'll get rid of that pain in the butt.
Okay.
And so I would demote him from your logo. If you still want to use him as your avatar, that's okay. I mean, as your site kind of persona. Make sense?
Okay.
Good. So unless you have any other questions, we'll send you this recording. We'll send you the Attention Wizard heat map. We also did one of your buy page here, which, again, no surprise. We only take them above the fold, but so it's kind of weird when you get to the Order Now page that you don't actually see the product above the fold, but that's an obvious one that will you should deal with immediately. But another reason not to have the price there like that for the shipping.
So you would, because this is a page that we're going to have to do ourselves, so you'd get rid of the map with the pricing,
It should say secure checkout at the top, and then you know, the 2 or 3, if you still insist on having 3 pricing options with a clear reason to buy for each, like we discussed. Okay.
Yeah, we had thought, we actually wrote a pricing guide that technically exists, but because that was a question that I kept getting as well, like, well, do I need 30 or do I need 45?
Right. Yeah, you don't need
And
a pricing guide.
that,
You just need to describe what they're for.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if that should be like a link to that page, or you're just saying make it 2 words.
It's part of that page. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Enough for initial treatment. Initial treatment plus occasional flare-ups. Okay.
Okay.
Something like that.
And on the now shipping internationally, I've never loved that logo. It's a pretty ugly thing, but
yeah, it's just kind of an afterthought.
We do ship a lot of international orders, so I'm curious how
right
can
column,
I let people know that we ship it?
Yeah, right column is fine. You know, you say shipping internationally, next day shipping on most orders, shipped by UPS, all of that stuff can be decorated with little things, unconditional money-back guarantee seal, all of that stuff. Down when they're on a pricing page and about to push the buy now checkout button, that they need to have to assure them of the transactional safety of your site and the mechanics of the transaction.
Okay. So would you move the pricing bottles all the way up, and then right column, you'd right column these bullet points that we're trying to put in, discrete packaging,
so
ship
just
in 1 day?
Okay. So then the 3 action blocks. 2 or 3.
Okay. Would you suggest using a 30-day or a money-back guarantee logo instead of actually saying it?
Yeah, the logo will get more play, and I would make it say unconditional lifetime guarantee, because it's not lifetime. They either use it and it works or it doesn't. I don't think you'll have high returns. One of the things we know from research is that people will actually
very
use
few returns.
And if you make the guarantee longer, like lifetime, it actually decreases returns.
Okay.
It's ironic.
I like that. That's a good point.
Because you're so confident in your product, you make it an unconditional lifetime guarantee.
Perfect.
Okay.
I needed that part. Okay, good.
All right. Well, so we'll get started on the fix. You'll be coordinating with Robin on the schedule on that. What we'll do is we'll create a page shell, probably have you look at it. Once that's finalized, we'll drop in the body of the new homepage. The page shell will, of course, have the navigation, the colors, and everything. Obviously, the logo is outside the scope of this, but you know, that's something I suggest you move on in parallel, or if you have any questions, let us know.
Sure, yeah, I realized that wouldn't have been included. Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Well, terrific. Thanks for all 3 of you being on the call. Hopefully this was useful, and hopefully it didn't make you cry too much.
No, we really appreciate it. I think it'll really help.
Well, terrific. Have a great afternoon. So we'll get this link to this recording and the heat map sent over to you.
Great. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.